Right, so a bit of Stairway to Heaven for you today. Oh no, yeah, it is. I'm not going to get banned from any guitar shops from this because I'm in my shed. So this is the opening lick to Stairway to Heaven. You have, and that's the solo, obviously, not the intro. So the reason I'm showing you this one is because of this note here. So that note is an F note, and the chord structure underneath the chord, the lick itself, goes A minor, and then G, and then F. So that F is the perfect note to end the lick on, and the reason for that is coming up just now because I've got an example with the chords underneath. Here it is. So that's the perfect way to end it, just because he's on the F chord for the rhythm guitar part, and then he executes with that F lick just there within the natural minor scale. Now, if you were to try the same lick but bring in the E note, which is, you know, perfectly usable because it's within the pentatonic scale itself, so A minor pentatonic, and it's within the natural minor as well. But if you were to end that same guitar line with that lick, it just would not sound right. And an example of that is coming up. So there you go, you can tell that the E note is obviously clashing with the F because of the placement where the F and the E lie together. So you've got that semitone difference, which for anyone, if I was to do an E flat and an E, it just sounds pretty disgusting, right? So even though the E note is within the pentatonic and the natural minor itself, and the chord sequence is in A minor, you can't really use that against an F chord or over the top of an F chord. It's just too much of a clash. Technically it works, but audibly it certainly does not. So basically what this lesson is all about is just to try and make you aware of where your licks end and where they start. So I think the beginning and the end of any phrase or lick that you play is the most important part. So if you come in on the correct note and you go out on the correct note, that sticks, it gels it together, bookended in the right way, okay? But if you sort of, I think a lot of people fall short when they don't really understand the fretboard well enough or the scales well enough or what's going on underneath, and you come out on a lick which, you know, like the E over an F, you just wouldn't do it. It'd leave that sour taste in your mouth. If I show the example over A minor and G as well, and you'll hear that they're not anywhere near as bad as playing the E over the F, but they still don't quite sit as well as the F over an F, obviously, because that is a true kind of match, isn't it? So I'm just going to leave you with those two examples now. Okay, so with those examples within this lesson, you know the F works well, so the natural minor. If you don't know the natural minor, then obviously please learn it because it's very important to do so. Natural fact, shall I run through that with you now? Yeah, let's do it. All right, so natural minor, two ways of playing it. I like the 3 note per string, so I'll show you that first. So we've got the A, the B, the C. So that's going to be 5, 7, and then 8. Same on the next string, so that's the D, E, F. And then you've got G coming in on that D string, so that's the 5th fret. Then A, and then B. So that's going to be 5, 7, and 9. Same on the next string, 5, 7, 9. So that's C, D, E. Then you've got your F, your G, and then your A. So that's going to be the frets 6, 8, and 10 on the second string. And then you're going to B, C, and D on the first string. So that's going to be 7, 8, and 10. So The other way to play it is kind of like the cage system. So you've got the same starting strings, so the E and the A strings are exactly the same. Then instead of going 3 notes on the D string, you just go the G and the A. So that's the 5th and 7th frets. Then on the next string, we come back to the 4th fret. So that's going to be 4, 5, and 7. So that's your B, C, and D. Then on the D, I'll get that right. And then on the B string, you've got 5, 6, and 8. And then on the E string, you've got 5, 7, and 8. So a lot of people like the cage system. I preferred the 3 note per string stuff just because I find it's, well, more fluent with legato stuff. So, but there you go. That's something for you to take on board. But the whole point of this lesson is why that F note works so well and kind of hits home with the opening lick of Stairway to Heaven. So it really does put that solo into that sort of statement area of like, is this just going to be a great solo? It executed really well, great lick to learn, and yeah, one that you should take on board. So I'm going to leave that with you and bid you farewell, and I'll see you next time for another lesson. Laters.